And we are live. Another founder wisdom pod slash CEO wisdom pod, because we have both today. Legend is with us. Shaun Clark, co-founder at HighLevel. I've used the software before. I love the genius behind the white labeling of the software. The software has pretty much gone viral to agency owners. I see so many people use the software. Really excited to dive into the episode today. It's brought to you by podbuyer.com, my podcasting company, if you want to start or scale a pod. Shaun, can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about Go HighLevel?
Sure. I'm Shaun. I'm the co-founder of Go HighLevel, one of them. And we're like a all-in-one sales, marketing, CRM, operations platform. So yeah, that's what we are.
I'm going to help you with the intro here.
Please do. I'm a terrible salesperson, so I can't describe even what my own company does.
A punchy intro would be like, I have 10 cups of coffee before 1 p.m. So yeah, me and Shaun were discussing about the caffeine effects on the brain. And obviously Shaun's a high accomplisher there. Like HighLevel, how many clients, Shaun, for now?
I mean, it depends on how you count it. So we're serving about 50,000 agencies today and about 2 million users.
Oh my God. Okay. And the subscription, it starts at 99, if my memory's good.
97. Gotta price it right, man. 97.
A la Russell Brunson. That's a lot of money. Let's call it 5 to 10 mil MRR.
Sure. Yes.
Sure. Yes. Where do you want to bring that? Because I mean, you guys have done incredibly well so far. What's the plan here? Is it keep on scaling until we reach the sky, or exit?
Yeah, I mean, we love what we're doing. So I mean, our platform, what makes us different, what makes us special is really about, we're not just selling another set of tools, we're also helping people create businesses around it. So, you know, what makes us unique at HighLevel is you can white label the platform. So really today it's about, and the original vision here is really simple. You know, we wanted to help small businesses, and we found that small businesses couldn't help themselves. And the real magic, right, is the agency who's in the middle actually making that work. And when we came into the space, that was already happening. The difference was the agency were making no money off of having the software, putting the tools in place. And so by allowing you to white label it and resell it, you can actually make a lot of money on it. And all of that money goes to you. We have a very flat pricing model. So there's not a per location fee. We don't do like this per user, per contact garbage, none of that crap. So as a result, you're just a lot more profit margin there for the agency owner. And so today, you know, we started off like saying, hey, why don't you add this into what you're doing as your agency? But now we just have people who make tons of money off of just selling the software and getting out of the bespoke service business that is very difficult to scale.
Do you ever realize that your brain functions at 2.5x speed?
Yes.
Yeah, I speak with like,
that.
Yeah, high energy folks. You know, how do you transition all that energy into your business and or into your team without breaking it?
I have a lot of better people than me on the team to help. I have great co-founders who really balance me out. So, you know, I could come in, wave my arms around and go a million miles an hour, and then I leave the room, and then they do a really good job of sort of trying to explain or interpret what I had to say. But at the same time, people in the room are like, I'm excited. I don't know why, but I'm pumped up.
Right. I found that myself, or that folks can be sometimes intimidated or put off. So I guess, yeah, hire the right folks there. What are your objectives nowadays? What does your day look like today, for example?
I mean, it hasn't changed remarkably from the beginning. It's about talking to customers, staying close to customers, really trying to make sure that I'm always trying to see it from the outside. Like, how are we doing? You know, not how are we doing like theoretically, how does it feel? Like, I think that's the most important thing. Like when I don't care if it's you're getting on with customer support or you're trying to use a feature in the app or you're whatever, how does it feel as a customer? Does it feel good? Does it feel simple? If not, is there some friction? And I feel like my job is to root those things out and expose them to the team and be like, hey, we got to fix this.
Right. So a lot of product, I would guess there. Do you still hop with customers on call? Do you still do that nowadays?
All the time. Absolutely. 100%.
Wow. Okay. What kind of feedback do you get from agency owners? What are their problems and how are you helping them fix that?
Well, I mean, the bigger problem of every agency owner is how to scale their business and make more money, right? And this is the problem we've been on since the beginning. And originally it was, I'm a lead gen agency, I'm putting leads on a spreadsheet and my client's firing me for it and really helping them with the nurture process. But really today, what I realized about that business model is, how do I scale a $3,000 a month bill to a bunch of small businesses? spoiler alert, you don't. And so we needed to find a way to give agency owners a business where they could say, hey, listen, it's $300 a month. It's all powered by technology. You're getting a great deal from me, but I'm not killing myself by creating a bespoke custom something every time that doesn't scale and I can never go on vacation. So we're giving people a business model and we're giving them the platform to do it. And now we're seeing people like, I had a guy pop in my DMs yesterday and say, hey, you don't know me. I just hit 100 sub accounts. Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. So just do the math, right? 100 times $300 a month. I mean, he's crushing it. And, all of those accounts are very much using the same feature set. And so he's created a much more scalable business than he ever had before.
How do you scale an agency from 0 to 10K, from 10K to 100K, and then from 100K to 1 million MRR?
Walk out your front door. So this is the most underused methodology. So everyone loves to think like, what niche should I choose? And, how do I run my Facebook ads and blah, 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 blah. Here's a hot tip. Don't do any of that stuff. Walk out your front door, use your home court advantage. How many businesses are within a 5-mile radius of your location? And if you don't think this works, you're totally wrong. And heck, this even works for software companies. I can tell you, go read the original start of podium.com, which is now over 100 million. Go look at Patient Pop, which by the way is #1 product as a website. Also recently purchased by Correo. Both of these companies, they walked around until they couldn't walk around anymore. And they got to millions in revenue just by doing that one thing. So walk out your front door and meet people where they stand, right? Local businesses think local, they buy local, they are local. So they want to buy from you if you are local way more than if you're coming to them from a distance, from a Facebook ad. You feel like it just doesn't create the human connection to make that sale. So that's my advice. Walk out the front door.
And maybe, travel to San Francisco to like a very high value market where like money is.
No. Kansas City, Missouri. You name it. Every small business. And look, tell the tire shop, the plumber, these are boring businesses and they don't go broke and they don't have ups, they don't have downs. They're not fly by nights. They're boring. And they'll pay you every month forever and always. And you're going to rest assured that they're still going to be able to pay you 10 years from now because they're still going to be there and they'll still be boring and they still won't be sexy. And that's the whole point. It's not about, this isn't who looks cool. It's how to make money. It's consistency. If you look at most businesses that make money, they have scalable business models that don't require a lot of optionality. The more options you give, the worse off it gets and the less profitable you are and the worse it scales, right? And then you have to find a price point where every small business can say yes. You need to look like a utility bill to them. And that's what the SaaS model does for you. That's why it's the best.
Love it. Very contrarian advice that I don't hear often. So I'm going to reflect on that. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
On the upside, how do I scale my ops? Do I start with hiring great humans? How do I find these great humans?
I mean, there's all kinds of good options. So first of all, figure out what your real financial goals are because everyone tries to tell themselves they need to be a billionaire to be happy. So first of all, just realize you don't need to be. If you want 100 clients, you can do it all yourself without hiring anybody. And then if you really want to go gangbusters and you don't want to hire anybody, there's all kinds of people that we work with that are in our world that actually do all of this for you at very reasonable prices, or you can hire your own people. So guess what? You got all the options in the world.
Tell me about the white label strategy. Before we started the pod, I mentioned that not a lot of SaaS do white label. And my hypothesis was that at a higher level, when you have more clients, it doesn't make sense to white label it. And it's just good for a start. And apparently I was wrong. Tell me in what way.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, for us, the reason why we white label is simple. We don't think that the mission of our customer is to sell our product to their customer, because the point is we don't think our customer can use those tools to create those outcomes. We think agencies actually serve a really important role on how to translate these things. And the problem is, if you don't white label your software, if you've been in an agency space for 5 minutes, here's what you're going to find. People are going to say, wait a second, I'm paying Shaun $1,000 a month. I'm paying the software company $100 a month. I think the software's doing all the work. Shaun, you're fired. Software company, you're staying. And all of a sudden, what have you done? You've just fed a customer to a software company and you've been fired for doing so. And it's crazy, right? It doesn't make sense. You could say, no, but I put all this work into the tool to make it work. And without me, they'd have nothing. But guess what? That's not how they're going to see it. And so that's why we white label to begin with, and why we only white label. It's why we only want to white label, because it truly serves the mission that we're on, which is helping small businesses. And at the end of the day, it's also about making sure that the agency is seen as the provider of both the technology as well as the actual solution and outcome, and not just like a service provider, right? So for us, that's why we white labeled, and we are now a lot bigger than we used to be. And we'll continue to white label forever and always, because for us, it serves our mission. And I think it's disingenuous for other people, our competitors who don't do it this way, I think they're just being disingenuous. They're saying to people, listen, you need to build a house from scratch. No problem. I'll sell you the hammer and the saw and the nails and you'll just build a house, right? Good luck. I don't think so. And so for us, it's about saying, listen, no, we understand you need a house, but you can't build a house. You're busy running a plumbing outfit or a law firm or a doctor's office. Let's get you a professional in there who can actually help you build that house.
Do you feel your Invoice Sherpa founder experience led to a lot of the success at HighLevel?
My Invoice Sherpa experience, my answering service experience before that, taking phone calls inbound for 5,000 small businesses, listening to this consistent issue of, hey, I'm getting a call, but I'm out doing a plumbing job in court, this and that, and I'm missing a call. And that call is money. That's people calling in to say, hi, I want to spend money with you. And now it's not a call. It's a web chat. It's a lead form submission. It's a Facebook ad submission, whatever. But the game has not changed. You don't know the lawyer, the doctor, the dentist when you reach out, and you go with a person who gets back to you faster 99% of the time, because you need to move on. You need to answer that question. So it's speed to lead, and we crush that. Crush it.
I'm just like at the loss of words here. How does HighLevel feel nowadays? Does it still feel stressful? Or is it just this hyper growth machine that keeps on giving?
Oh no, it feels stressful. I mean, every day we're still in competition, and really we're just in competition with changing people's perspectives. Because when you've been in the world long enough, you have this jaded view, or you're just kind of set in motion in a certain way. And it's like saying, no, listen, there's a new way. You can do better. You can make more money. You can be more successful. You can be more profitable. I remember, talking to a guy at our last big event, and he was like, I was talking about this model, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I got to take this call. I have this client. He pays me $50,000 a month, but he says you're a pain in the butt, and I hate him, and this and that. And after he got off, I said, that's exactly the problem. Here you are at this event. You can't even stay engaged because you have this stupid client. And guess what? How much money do you make off that guy? He's like, well, not a lot, because I'm killing myself. And I've got like a 5-person team and this and that. And I said, this is exactly why you need to move to SaaS. Fast forward 6 months. He reached out to me. He's like, man, it's amazing. I have 100 SaaS clients now. I ditched that idiot. They never call me. It's very simple. It's very scalable. It's a totally different business model. So today, that's the challenge we're on, doing that at mass.
It is my understanding that you guys are bootstrapped.
Yes, we actually did raise a round though. I think it's 2 years ago, but we didn't raise it because we needed it. So we took that money, we parked it. We really got that money to get help in terms of, as you scale, you want smart people who have done it before, and really good people. They just don't do it for free, sadly. So, and in some cases, in our case, basically we traded an investment for their expertise. And that was a really smart move, because we got people who had kind of been where we've been and, double, tripled that level. And we thought, got to have those people on your team.
Did you get inspired by ClickFunnels by any chances?
Oh, you can't not be. I mean, I think Russell Brunson is one of the best marketers, if not the best marketer on the planet. So, I mean, if you can't get inspired by that, you're not in this game, right? But I would say that, that absolutely, we took tons of inspiration from there. But it also showed us, gosh, there's so much more you really have to do to run a business. I mean, yeah, the top of the funnel is absolutely the most important thing. It's where you start and this and that. But once you have somebody, gosh, you better get back to them within 5 minutes. And you can't do that without automation. And these days you can't do it without AI. And then getting back to someone's one thing, but then you got to get them to take a step, and you need countering and booking. And then later you need CRMs and email marketing and this and this and this and this and this. And if you don't have them all in one spot, it's a pain in the butt to run your business. So we absolutely took inspiration from that, but we've certainly added on a great deal since then.
You and Russell have somewhat similar personalities. We say in French, bébé à batterie. It's like someone with very high energy, very brainy, lots of insights. You just produce more energy a la Tony Robbins if you want. How do you keep touch with these folks? You mastermind, you have a group in which you constantly keep touch with high energy individuals. And how do you benefit from that?
Yes. And I call them my customers. So, I don't mastermind myself. I mean, we have our own masterminds and events and these things, but that's not my expertise. I'm a software engineer by trade. I'm really nerdy. It's not my forte. So I don't try to pretend to be who I'm not. But what I do know is I have a passion for my product, and I have a passion for my customers, and I try to bridge those every single day. So I'm getting on with customers every day. And it's amazing how excited people are. Like we just came from a client who you just showed a demo to, and they're thrilled with what they saw. And now you're like, oh, holy crap, I made a sale. I need to figure out how to actually make this happen. Can you help me? That's a magic moment for me, because I know how to make it happen after that. and I can help that person get to success. And it's just such a thrill because I'm truly partnered with my customer, because if they make money, I make money. If they fail, I fail, versus all my competitors. It's like, whatever, buddy, we already got your customer. They're our customer. See you later. Fail or not fail, we can care less. It's a totally different journey, and it's just thrilling.
It's a flywheel. I see a flywheel there. How do you take their feedback, put it in some kind of pipeline, and determine what is the priority in terms of the next featured on the roadmap?
Great question. It's called an ideas list. So we have an ideas list, and I'm a meritocracy kind of guy. I like votes. I think voting is good, and I think, one vote, one person. So you literally go on, you post your idea, you get votes on it, and we have a product management team. They go in for each of the areas, they sort by top votes, they grab the next item, and boom, that's what gets put in the dev pipeline.
I'm still curious and want some kind of answer there of how does a day in the life of Shaun looks like? At what time do you get up? How many hours do you crunch? You're like these super machines. I'm guessing at least 15 hours.
Yeah, I've always loved getting up early. So I get up at 5 a.m. We have a dev team in India, so it's good crossover on the Pacific time zone. So that works out. And then I would say I'm probably never really off. I try to slow down in the evenings, this and that. I have a family, and so I want to be a good dad. But I wouldn't say I rock that role or anything. I think about it. But I'm never off. I'm never on vacation. I mean, one way or another, I'm trying to stay connected, because I think it's important to be accessible. And it's also important to understand when your customers are in pain and they're reaching you, what that just means is you fail to give them a better solution. It's not, people don't want to reach you. It's just that, they want help. And so if they get to you, it's like, okay, wait a second. First, I need to help this person. Then second, I need to figure out why is it that they had to come to me in order to get that help, and I couldn't knock this out for them easier.
What are the similarities between being a dad and managing a team of employees and managing customer feedback?
I mean, it's just all about remembering perception trumps reality, right? So you want to inspire people to greatness. And sometimes, it's that balance between, trying to help them be their best. And sometimes that's just about being as inspirational as you can, maybe, and realizing not everybody has, it's obvious, but strengths and weaknesses, right? We all have them. And it's realizing when you're trying to talk to somebody about something and get them to take an action or get them to get to a result, you got to really think about who they are. Are they really numbers driven? Because you should talk about statistics and numbers and prove things to people. I'm that kind of guy. Or some people they don't understand numbers at all. They could care less. They really just want to understand the feelings behind it, or they want to have some exposure to the why behind it, the bigger purpose. So really just understanding who you're talking to and just making sure that you're talking their language and meeting them where they are.
Yeah, their back end, right? Their personality, their codes. Super interesting, dude. Want to ask you though, AI, automation, you must have an army of bots also working for you. What are you using nowadays to be more efficient?
Oh, we're infusing AI in our platform like crazy. Our customers use AI. We do content generation, we do image generation. We already had a booking AI bot prior to ChatGPT and all of that, but we have a massive upgrade coming out next week, fully ChatGPT, full AI bots, because we really envision this world where every small business has a bot that is talking to its customers, giving it great information, doing a good job answering, the 90%, right? Helping you book, helping you get pricing, all that stuff. And so we're really, again, customer first, right? So we're producing customer first, and we're really focused AI on the customer side. We have some of that stuff on our support bot, for L1 support, just trying to help people answer questions, that kind of thing. And I'm sure we'll do a better job as we move forward. But right now it's how do we make sure our customers have what they need? Because if they can't sell stuff to their clients, they're not making money. They're not going to be happy with the platform. Again, I think not only what am I making as software to help people from a tools perspective, but how am I helping them sell something more to their customer to make money for them, to create value for their end client? That's our focus.
Your learning stack. What are you reading, or how are you spending your learning time nowadays? Is it on customer success resources? What is your learning? What do your learning habits look like?
What it is it's about saying, all right, lucky for me, right? So again, we don't just sell to Bob the plumber and Jim the lawyer and have to deal with the fact that they are part-time marketers. We're really working with professionals. And so our customers come to us and say, listen, here's a new trend you guys need to look at, or here's another tool that you guys need to look at, or here's a thing that we're doing to help our clients you need to look at. And so for me, that's my cue to go in and actually dive in and learn. And so really it's about taking those cues, because that's going to inform the roadmap. That's going to inform what we do. And that's going to help us, again, get back to that mission of, that is how you help Bob the plumber. You help Jenny, the agency owner, because Jenny, the agency owner, is actually how that magic gets done. And you need to serve her because she's the one that's going to serve that end customer.
I love that focus, that obsession with the customers. I'm taking so many notes here. It's kind of a la Jeff B, like one of the largest companies in the world, Amazon's that way because of their customer obsession. So taking lots of notes here on my side. Pretty much the last question I have for you here. If we have another convo in a year and 5 years from now, what would these convo look like? Where would HighLevel be at?
Well, I mean, we're changing the way software is being sold. So, I mean, anybody who sells software direct to a consumer, you're probably going the wrong direction. For at least for us in our market, I can very absolutely say everybody who is sort of a quote unquote competitor of ours, I think 3 or 5 years from now, if they haven't changed to our model, they're going to get run over by our model, because our model isn't about us. It's about our customers being successful, making money, and them actually being the ones on the front lines. And that's how you actually meet your customers where you stand, because they don't just need a piece of software. They don't just need a hammer, right? They also need help. They need services. They need both together in one spot to create a great outcome for themselves. And so 5 years from now, we will have changed the model by which this software in this market gets sold, period.
I'm so bullish on you and the company, and like both are kind of interrelated. That's what I'm noticing here. Would you let your customers invest into you?
Absolutely. In fact, we're always thinking about ways to do that. In fact, if we ever IPO'd, that'd be the only reason I would do it, because honestly, I think, gosh, that's a great way for people to actually buy stuff. I don't know how to sell shares and all that. And I would hate to try to, again, I don't try to, my strengths, my weaknesses, right? But I would love to IPO so that way we could actually get those shares out to our customers and then they could buy in.
Even before that, maybe I can refer you to Sim Desai, CEO of Hive, which is a private marketplace for private private companies before
Absolutely.
they IPO. He's a fucking beast. He's just like you, like super ambitious. And I asked him the question, what does it feel to compete against Sim Desai? And he said, scary. So I guess you'd have a similar answer to that. But Shaun, thank you so much for your time. I mean, you're just a beast. That's like my conclusion here. Where can people find out more about you?
I would actually say go check out obviously go to gohighlevel.com and check out the website. But if you want more detail, you want to go super in depth, go to the YouTube channel. We have a truckload of stuff there. You can see features. You can see how fast we release. We're insane with our releases. So definitely go check out the YouTube channel for HighLevel.
Thank you so much. Pod brought to you by podbuyer.com. If you want to start or scale pod, that was Shaun Clark.